Welcome to another episode of Unpopular, but we'll let him give the intro because he's probably not going to like this one.
Hey, come on. You always just catch me off guard when you steal the intro. I'm always ready like a game show host, I feel like, to be like, ba 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 ba. But like, those couple times you did it, I was like, oh fuck, dude, what do I even do?
Yeah, I may be a wild card as long as you're happy I'm in your deck.
No, absolutely.
I dread the idea of doing intros whatsoever. And I'd rather have the frame start off with just you two, and then gradually just incorporate me into frame later on. And be like, oh, James is here, by the way. I'd be like,
no,
hey.
sorry, that's not going to happen. As most of you can tell, we're all in the same frame. I've moved everything in the room around. I said, I hate it! And we're going to start with square one and just get good quality video and audio. And I think this is going to create a more natural conversational...
And flow.
And feeling, you know?
Flow show.
So we'll see how the audio turns out. We're notorious for having audio issues, and you know what? What have we got to lose, man? We haven't made a video in a month.
We have to lose the lost episode, which we last recorded,
right.
where I got to sit at the big boy table for once.
I literally listened to the audio for it for 10 minutes, and I was like, I can't work on this right now. I give up. But anyway, welcome to Unpopular, the pop culture podcast. We have a lot to talk about. We have a different format today. I'm doing things a little bit differently. I wanted to mix it up, be a little more conversational, less reviewy. And I'm Larry Downs.
I'm Nick Airlock Shockhaskin.
I'm James Seeloff.
And I just wanted to take a couple minutes to catch up with you guys, because like I said, it's been a month since we shot last, and excuse me for looking over periodically. I'm just making sure we're still recording and we're still good. But anyway, you guys don't know this about us, but me, Nick, and James, outside of this, we all kind of share albums with each other. To mix it up, we're all getting old, and I think we're having a hard time finding new music that we like.
New music!
Yeah, at least I know I am, dude. I'm the hardest sell out of everyone at this table for music.
I'm not as picky as I used to be.
Oh, I'm so picky.
I have an easier time, but then again, I haven't also listened to anything new in a long time. Maybe a couple months.
I'll find 10 new albums James will love before I find one that Larry will be like, that was alright.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And I think I've just gotten pickier, and I think it's interesting. I was listening to a TED Talk or something about this, and it's because you're kind of always seeking the music that you liked, but music is a constantly evolving thing,
right.
And music is mostly important to us in our younger and later years. So in our in-between years, we're kind of seeking out that thing that lit that spark in our youth. And music doesn't happen like that. I mean, the only band that makes music that sounds like old music is what's that fucking band that sounds like Led Zeppelin?
Oh, Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, Greta Van Fleet, and they're really not all that. They're successful, no doubt.
Yeah, but it's it's music.
We weren't lead heads to begin with.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys are and not telling me, but that's great for the people who really were lead heads.
Right.
The grandpas.
The G-Paws.
Our dads.
But it's also got got a little bit AC/DC in there too.
Yeah.
It kind of has a little bit of
which kind of pushes me back further.
No, that's the thing. But it's because that's why that band is so popular, because it has such a broad kind of spectrum of other things that work. Even if it doesn't
Dirty Dads done dirt cheap.
Right. Yeah. So I would want to spend, from now on in our episodes, a couple minutes just talking about whatever last album we listened to. And we're not going to actually talk about the last album that we listened to today, because I don't want to put James on the spot like that.
And we don't want this episode getting flagged.
We don't want to get flagged or anything. So
I'm not that awful of a person, guy. Oh, well, I mean,
let's just say I had to class up the joint after James's last album pick, and I picked Abbey Road by the Beatles, which I think is the greatest Beatles album of all time. It's kind of hard to decide. I racked my brain for weeks on this one, but I think it is the best representation of the boys as the boys. Just doing their thing. John Lennon was addicted to heroin. Yoko Ono was constantly in the studio
ruining
pissing
things.
off Paul McCartney. George Harrison hated the fights all the time, and he was into that Hare Krishna shit, so he was bringing weird
sitars and shit.
Yeah, and Ringo Starr was just I'm just here to make money. He was just caught in the middle, even though, stuck in the middle, but not like that song. But yeah, that's the album I suggested for this week, and if you guys like that album, let me know. I'll talk about it all day and all night. I think it is a masterclass on mixing and mastering an album and how you record music and produce or write songs. And they will probably tell me I'm wrong because I am really pitching this album to the wrong audience. But I think you gotta walk away with something because it is such a... There are so many different styles on this album. It's like a King Gizzard project, kind of. Like, just imagine 70s King Gizzard, It's like, it's the boys just jamming, being the boys, and just fucking weird.
People vultures in a strawberry field.
There you go. Forever. In the sky with diamonds. But anyway, that's the album I suggested this week, and we're not going to talk about it anymore because we got to move on.
And you suggested like 2 days ago.
I did.
I'm used to like I thought I'd have until next weekend to give you my report.
Oh, no.
I like all the Beatles, the sad stuff.
Yeah.
Like, heard the news today. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Whatever that one is. That's a banger.
That's a day in the life. That's
all right. I like that one.
So that's our music update. Let us know if you like that album or what album we should listen to.
Moving past the sound booth.
So what I did this week, I'm going to burn through it really quick so these guys can talk. So I have been playing Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which is the PS5 one. Phenomenal game. Played it, beat it, platinum. Felt like a boss. I played Devil May Cry 4, I think it was. Or was it 5?
Oh, 5.
5. And I haven't played 1 since 3, and I was really impressed with the game. I had a lot of fun. Man, is that edgy as fuck. It's just like cloaks and swords and one-liners and heavy metal, but man, it's fucking awesome.
As I said, like, every character looks like they're out of Final Fantasy, but dressed to go to City Club.
It's got a little bit of a hot topic kind of thing thrown in there, for sure.
No, not too many collars is enough collars.
Super fun game. And then I've currently been playing, which is totally out of the norm for me, Horizon Forbidden West. Which is that game where you're the...
robo-animals.
The robo-animals in the future. It's all woodsy. You're that girl with, like, the red dreadlocks or whatever. And she's, like... You look kind of caveman-y. But all of the animals are robots. Here, I'll bring up a picture.
And you can tame them, right? And, like, ride some of them.
You can ride some of them, but you hunt them and take their parts and stuff to make your
upgrades.
Gear.
Hell yeah.
It's this game.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
No, not familiar. It's one of PlayStation's, like... It's one of their big ones.
I was thinking about...
Is it for Xbox
Extra Primal
exclusive?
I think it's a PlayStation exclusive. I could be wrong, but I think it's their baby, kind of.
Okay. I know it's on PC as well.
Okay, that makes sense. And then, let's see... I haven't really been watching anything. I've just been watching One Piece. I've been trying to watch as much as I can. For those of you that are familiar with One Piece, I'm on the Dressrosa arc, which is the longest running arc currently in One Piece. I got 23 episodes left, which will put me at episode 746.
That was going to be my next question. What number?
Out of 1,000. It's over 1,000. I think it's under 1,100 right now. But
I can't watch it.
Oh, dude, I have made a commitment to this show. And it's a great arc. It's better than the last one. But man, when an arc runs 100 episodes, it's like, all right, come on, let's get to the, but once I hit like every 100 episodes, I feel great. And like I can do another 100. I'm like, oh my god, I get like to 40, I'm like, oh my god. I get to 80, I'm like I'm in a desert dying for water. And then it's like 100, I'm like, oh, I'm great. This is all good.
It's like an endurance test by the time...
Does it go off or?
Yeah, screensaver.
I don't know, by the time you hit episode 100, it's like, you get the runner's high from it or something.
Seriously, dude, like I'm ready and revamped again, but I wanted to show you guys this clip that I got from the show, and I'm going to show this clip to everyone
up on the screen via the magic of editing.
And obviously I'm going to edit out the audio while we're watching it, but I thought it was really relatable and funny and for the boys. So I got to pause this. Just for context here, so they've just escaped this big thing, and At the end, they are met with their friend, who is a robot man. He's a cyborg Frankie, and he always has cool new robot suits, and all of the boys are always super impressed. They think it's super cool.
Impresses me. Yeah,
exactly.
Robots are for the boys.
And
they encounter a lot of sea monsters over there.
Oh yeah, sea kings, they call them. So here's the little clip here.
It's very Dr. Robotnik.
It's like, it's the ultimate one. That's what we boys love. Look at this. And all of the girls are just so unimpressed.
It's not giving one shit.
Oh, dude, I laughed so hard when I saw
Chicks
it.
don't get it.
No.
No love for the robots.
Yeah, I don't know why. We're not saying you can't. We're saying you normally don't. Okay, prove us wrong. Let us know in the comments if you're a girl who likes robots. Boom. But that's been my week. Okay, you guys are gonna have to fight to see who talks about their week next.
Well, I was just gonna say off the top, curtailing Larry's last remark. If you are a lady that enjoys robots, nickhaskin@gmail.com. But anyways, how was your week, James?
Well,
James
mine
won the
was
coin toss anyway, so
Yeah.
very,
That's awesome. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Excite us, thrill us with your
speaking of chicken
Thrill
dinners,
me.
I didn't have chicken dinner, but I spent the past week at a horse farm, which it's not very comic booky, but it was nice to catch a break, get the hell out of the city, and
Rambo was on a horse farm in Last Blood, so I'm just saying, this thing, it was fucking cool.
I might have done some Rambo training or some shit.
I don't fucking believe that for a second.
Oh man, you see my
Yeah,
fucking guns these days.
okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Alright, I don't want to break the internet.
I don't see any wool between your knuckles, though. So I don't believe it.
But I digress. So it's pretty fucking cool. It's nice to get the hell out of the city and breathe some air that's laced with manure as opposed to smog.
I was gonna say breathe some horse shit. Yeah.
A different kind of air quality.
Hey man, but like,
Yeah,
also
great outdoors.
Stallone was the Tulsa King.
Yeah,
So
He
I
was
can
onto
respect a horse farm. I can dig that.
But yeah, it was pretty nifty.
And other than that, you're just a madman at the fucking gym. I see you. I see you on the
well,
machines. James looks like an animal, dude. I'm telling you. And he's
I
gonna
went
be
with
really
him
fucking,
once.
Oh, he's just like on the fucking treadmill. I'm just like sweat. I don't know why I'm the sweatiest person in the fucking.
No,
gym. I'm sweating bullets, and James is there like grinding his teeth, just being the fucking man, and I'm just like dying next to him.
Well, I mean, I was going to say something about steroids, but we'll edit that out in post.
No.
Because I don't want to get flagged or anything, but,
It's just green herb,
No,
dude.
just-
We all do
For healing.
steroids in a way.
Do we? Oh, well, in the food and all that.
In my inhaler, in my steroid inhaler.
You're a Butrol or whatever.
We don't do the cool steroids. We do the lamest steroids you can possibly do.
The ones that will
As you can
probably
see,
give you the bitch
our
titties without the muscle beforehand.
Right. Our lungs can't function on their own, so we need medicine.
Gotta do what we gotta do.
I started to rewatch last night, didn't finish it. 2016's Key and Peele's Keanu
Oh, with the cat?
with the gangster cat.
Okay.
Yep. It's fun. It's cute. It's about a kitty. It's a good laugh, but it's one of those black comedic films that feels like it's very catered to white people.
Okay.
Like how I felt after seeing the trailer to The Blackening.
I mean,
In a weird way, it's
I've been on a Medea kick, so I mean that's catered for everybody.
Everybody.
Everyone loves Medea.
Can't say I've indulged.
And on YouTube lately, I've been enjoying this gentleman's channel called Zorp. Zorp, he's a Warhammer 40k player that built his own rules to play a live-action tabletop equivalent to 2004's Dawn of War RTS game.
Yeah.
So there's base building, there's an economy set up. Orcs versus Blood Angels. I watched two 40-minute two-part 40-minute video. And
Cool.
Awesome, very fun, and it's like maybe we can get that on our tabletop someday. But Haven't watched too many new things other than opening night for Oppenheimer with you gentlemen.
Yeah, as everyone knows, this weekend was opening day for Barbie and Oppenheimer, so we
Opening day.
decided to see Oppenheimer at the IMAX, and let me tell you, it is the hottest theater I have ever been in my fucking life.
Fucking
That is-
roasting our goddamn asses
For a
off.
3-hour movie, if you include the trailers, 3.5. You know, because it's a half hour of trailers these days.
And if you're thinking we say IMAX, we're not talking about the Big Daddy Dearborn Henry,
Livonia,
Ford Village,
AMC Livonia.
AMC Livonia 20. They still had the old style theater or seating. We were packed like sardines.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it went up to letter N, so we're hotboxed up top.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. And I've never had more of a environmentally a miserable movie going experience.
Right.
I
It
was
was-
so
it
uncomfortable
was
the whole
sweaty.
time.
Fucking hot in
Yeah.
there,
Felt like I was
man.
gonna throw up.
And I didn't really notice it because I have a pretty high threshold for like temperature. Like
You're a gym
if it's
daddy. Yeah.
like it's but it wasn't until you said something that I came back after I went to go take a piss that I walked up to the
You felt the coolness of the lobby and
Yeah,
even
and
the
fucking
bottom
coming
of
back
the
up.
steps.
Right, the bottom of the steps, going from the bottom all the way up to the top, was friggin' like it was a goddamn sauna up there.
Well, I was telling Nick the other day, I'm like, it was almost an immersive experience concering everyone in Oppenheimer is sweaty
Sweating,
and just
yeah,
listening
yeah.
the whole time.
Like you're sitting there getting just interrogated the entire time.
Right.
That movie was really fucking intense.
It was great, and we're going to talk about Oppenheimer. That's going to be our last bit for the episode because it's got the most meat to it because we just saw it. It's fresh in our minds, and we're not going to break it down or review it. We're
Minus
just
the
gonna shoot
half
shit.
hour. I left
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. But anyway, I believe we're officially caught up, unless you guys have anything else world turning to mention.
Dude, I'm really fucking excited for Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 1?
I'm really fucking stoked because we got a lot more
Yeah.
character reveals and
Who
new
are the
origins.
extras? I saw a picture of the DLC characters, I think.
Omni-Man
Yes.
from Invincible, and I think Homelander.
Homelander, yeah, which I think is just kind
From
of
the
lame.
boys.
I feel
from
I
The
feel like
Boys.
those two characters are aren't they kind of too similar?
They're
to,
very similar, and they're very niche for Mortal Kombat. I feel like you need kind of a bigger character, like when they do like Spawn or like Rambo.
But they've
or,
done
like,
Alien,
they've done those
Predator,
kinds of characters.
Jason
They've done so
Voorhees.
much before.
Yeah, they're running out.
They are kind of
Leatherface.
running out.
They can't do any of the DC heroes because of Injustice, I'm sure.
Yeah,
some bullshit
yeah,
tied
some
up.
kind of stuff like that.
But speaking of video games, I believe it's official now. You can play as Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight.
Yes, I've seen that.
Oh,
I heard
which
he's
is-
a blast to fucking play with.
Oh, phenomenal. Which I just want to take actually one quick second before we move on to our next segment. What's your guys' favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Oh God, easily probably Deadfall.
Deadfall?
Yeah, Deadfall.
Okay.
His cagiest, man.
Yeah, he is at his cagiest. I agree.
It's laughable at moments, but I'd say Con Air for the overall star lineup.
I think Con Air is fantastic. It's just like over the top. It's almost like a comic book movie.
I
Yeah,
was the
dude, it really
virus.
is.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, and it's got
Steve Buscemi.
John Malkovich in there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Steve Buscemi is a great character in there. So I just saw a video the other day about how Steve Buscemi's character in The Big Lebowski is actually the convict from Con Air because he escapes at the end of Con Air. You know, they don't know where he went. And that's the thing is whenever he shows up at the bowling alley, he's always wearing a shirt with someone else's name on it. It's not his name. They're like, he killed the guy and he's living in his house or whatever.
Oh.
It's kind of a far reach, but okay.
That's fun.
You know, that's fun.
Because I had a fan theory that Jim Carrey, even though one came out before the other, Jim Carrey in what's the movie's word? Truman Show. Mm-hmm. After he escapes from the Truman Show, he turns into the Jim Carrey as the cable guy
Oh, I thought you
because he was raised by TV, and you could
he's
interpret that
demented and
differently.
weird. He had a
all
weird
fucked
period
up
after
now.
he left the Truman Show because he hit a world that wasn't
real
the Truman
world.
Show.
Right.
He wasn't ready
So
for
he's just a
reality.
fucking maniac.
And that's
out
why
there.
he's so obsessed with television, and it leads him into the
Okay.
psychotic
We've broken through the Matrix here, boys.
Crack the
On a
code.
side note, the Cable Guy is such a weird movie. I rewatched it this past year.
It's uncomfortable, man.
It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's more of almost like a psychological horror.
I kind of got that impression.
Horror.
I remember
it was not received well.
when I first, because I didn't see it, even when it first came out or anything like that. But I remember asking a lot of people when it first came out, and they said, one girl that I remember talking to said that even though it was a comedy, she got really fucking creeped out by it.
Yeah, because
It's more of a horror film.
yeah.
Can confirm,
I
especially
can
after
just
multiple
from like
rewatches.
the shit that I've seen.
That whole nightmare sequence, get out. Okay, anyway, so
let us know what you think about the Cable Guy down below. Is it connected to the Truman Show? Is Nick crazy? I think it's starting to make sense. But anyway, on to our next segment, which is our comic book update. So, this week in comic books, we have a couple new notable things, mostly because I haven't been there in a couple weeks. I'm flat broke, so comic books is the least of my priorities, which is weird. I normally put that above food for my kid and everything else, but you know.
But don't tell them.
Right. Shh. He's cool with eating ramen and you know.
He thinks it's kawaii.
Yeah, right. I got him a cool bowl. So.
There you go.
But the reprint of Marvel Spider-Man India came out. This is with Paviter
That's not Peter Parker.
Paviter Prabhakar,
Okay.
who is the Indian Spider-Man who was in the newest Spider-Verse movie, who is one of the best characters in the movie. He's fun, he's witty, he thinks being a superhero is so easy, and he's so handsome. Like, he's a very, very fun character. But that issue is that it's the reprint, so if you haven't gotten that yet, go check it out. It's not going to be as, worth as much money as the first one, but you can still read it, which is the point of the comic book.
Getting it out there.
Next up, Marvel's got a new Black Panther series that just came out. I believe it's the reprint of that. It has a cool cover. Go check it out. DC is continuing with their new Night Terrors saga, which where most of the characters are sucked into a nightmare realm or some shit like that. And
Spooky DC.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's like what was that heavy metal DC run? Was it called Heavy Metal
yeah,
or something?
DC.
One-way
Black
ticket to
Metal.
midnight.
Black Metal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so the Night Terrors Titans came out this week, which had a fucking awesome cover of like Beast Boy, like morphing into multiple things, like a deer head up here, then like a elephant trunk down. He's like a amalgamous blob.
So it's a very horror
it's like,
oriented kind of DC series.
like Cthulhu-y looking.
Okay,
Eldritch-y. Like he's stuck in a constant state of morphing.
transformation.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if that's actually in the story. As we know, most covers just look cool and they don't actually pertain to the story.
Right.
Dynamite has the new issue number 4 for 007 for King and Country, which I'm surprised is still being published, as no offense to 007, but comic books get killed if they're not successful very quickly.
And I didn't even know, I'm a big 007 guy, and I didn't even know there was 007 comics.
Yep. I just started a new one. It's on issue 4. Go check that out. And for cover of the week, of course, I lean to the smut. I have to. I can't help it. I'm a man in a comic book
Can I
store.
guess, before
Boobs
you
are good.
screen it, can I guess it?
Yeah.
Sirens of Gotham.
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you proud that I even knew what that was?
Yes, I'm surprised.
And you said smut, so I was like, I know one.
But it is the Leslie Laurie Lee foil cover for Poison Ivy Uncensored, which is just a grouping of smutty, well, not smutty, but Poison Ivy covers. Most of them are smutty because that's
Hell yeah.
Poison Ivy is scantily clad.
Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn don't stand a chance against comic book artists. They're like, oh, she's gonna have huge tits. And
You gotta have the motorboating in there, like for
a
added
little
effect.
over the top. But I will obviously post covers of all of these things as I'm talking about them in the video, so you can check them out. And so I'm gonna start doing a little segment now because the shorts have been successful. Cool stuff I found in the comic book shop. And after I show you guys one book that I thought was really cool in the comic book shop, I'm gonna show you guys a little short of a couple cool things, toys mostly, that I find in the comic book store.
Toys are always cool.
But as I'm always fishing around and looking for new books, on the shelf I saw that our man Wesley Snipes actually has his own comic series.
Really?
It's titled The Exiled, right? And of course, without a doubt, he's the star of our comic book, as he would be in anything that he makes. And this is the cover that I found for
Such
number
as
4 the
Danzig?
other day. this silly little Wesley Snipes
man.
as Ripley with a gun.
I was gonna say it
You
looks
know,
very
like-
alien.
Yeah, it is. It's a mock Alien cover. Obviously, I'm going to show that up on the screen. But I thought that was very fun and silly, and the fact that Wesley Snipes has his own comic book that he is the star of just tickles me pink. He's like, yo, dog, make me look like Ripley on the next
But give me some Oakleys.
Right, yeah.
No
That's
Oakleys
right,
in the
no
picture.
Oakleys, no sunglasses.
He is a big Oakleys guy.
So, as we're looking through this, check out the cool things I found in the comic book store this week. Treasures I found at my trip to the local comic book shop this week. We have the TMNT Meet Power Rangers line from Hasbro. I really enjoyed this comic, and I'm particularly a fan of this Green Ranger Shredder. Next, we have vintage Migos still in their boxes, Torch, Spidey, and Mr. Fantastic, but these are French. Finally, we have almost the entire set of the original Metal Gear Solid toys by McFarlane. These are pretty cool, give or take a really terrible head sculpt here and there, like this Solid Snake. Alright, so now that that's all well and done, we're going to move on to our next segment. A very short one before our movie segment. This is a toy update, because I thought it would be cool to talk about toys, as me and James very much like toys. Nick dabbles in toys a little bit.
I build my own.
You build
mainly
it, there
these
you
days.
go. But one of these is just for you, my friend. It's a very cool toy I saw it the other day. It's a San Diego Comic-Con reveal, so you'll never own it. But
Cool.
it is very cool.
Build up my dreams and crash them down all in one.
Yeah,
statement.
absolutely. So this is a, like I said, San Diego Comic-Con release. It is a Mr. Freeze. And let me just find this thing. It is super cool. And of course, as usual, I will show it up on the screen as soon as I can find it. I had it right here. Okay.
It's a very chilly boy.
Oh, here it is. So this is the black and white line work Mr. Freeze toy from San Diego Comic-Con. And it
that
is
is
just
sharp.
oh, dude, it's super cool. He looks kind of like Arctic.
Holy fucking
Big
balls.
Daddy.
I love the two just blank eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. I would love to get one of those and do a custom paint job on it. To do like the typical Mr. Freeze costume, like blacks
okay.
and
Yeah, it had to be
blues
kind of
and-
beat it up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe
that
the
would
red
look
eyes
really
would look
fucking
really cool in
man.
there, or yellow eyes. Like I'm not
Yellow.
sure. Like
Yellow.
yeah, it would look sweet.
Against the blue, yellow.
So they just announced that it's a McFarlane toy. So it'll probably be I estimate secondary market. It'll be a $200 toy.
That's fucking gorgeous. Though.
It is a very gorgeous toy.
That's
It's
But
fine piece of plastic.
on the last bit of news of this, we're talking about the complete opposite of a gorgeous toy. As we most of us know, I don't want to exclude you because I'm sure you're familiar. Sideshow Collectibles, Hot Toys, they make fucking amazing toys that look great, high detailed, tons of customizable options on them.
Kind
Comes
of
in
like
a
the new
fancy
McFarlane.
box.
For
what
200
McFarlane
plus
was in the
bucks, yeah.
90s.
McFarlane was never a luxury toy designer.
No. Okay.
This is like, you know, a McFarlane toy is probably going to run you $20. A hot toy is going to cost at least $150. You know, and it's like this is a hot toy, and like I would even compare some of these NECA toys to McFarlane. Like that Pumpkinhead's a McFarlane.
Okay.
Like it's not even close in comparison. Like the quality of the toy. And
I
like, the
just remember
size
there
and
being a
everything.
time in either late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, they were
that
hot.
McFarlane had
well-
like a high level of detail and then they wound it back.
well, it was but that
At
was
the
also
time, that was the most detailed.
yeah.
Okay,
McFarlane
okay.
back then was like the gold standard versus say
Okay.
Toy Biz, X-Men, and shit like that.
Right.
I think
we just had
McFarlane
lame-
even dabbled in some Halo Reach figures.
Yeah, like his stuff is good, you know,
alright,
and the articulation is cool, but it tend to be a little bit fragile. It's you know stuff like that.
It is your. I'd say a McFarlane toy is your standard toy.
Right.
It is your standard off the shelf $20-$30 action figure. It'll be impressive. It'll look cool, but it's not like wowing the toy boys.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
These days, like you know like you said, the hot toys.
Hot
are the-
Toys or Mezco, which is that xenomorph that's actually on the stand. Mezco's like your middleman. That's like a $90-$80 toy. But Hot Toys can get up to like $400 or $500 depending. Their statues
hot.
can be like $1,200. You know, it's
Very hot.
fancy caviar toy shit. But recently they've really fucked up. I saw about this on the other day on I forget what website. But they came out with a Supergirl from the new Flash movie. So I don't know if you guys are aware, the Supergirl in the new Flash movie is an alternate universe Supergirl.
I didn't even know she was in. I heard about the
She's pretty
appearances
cute.
of
I think she's
Michael
still-
Keaton
She's an
as
attractive
the
lady.
OG
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, that's the one.
And they redid the Batmobile in the Batcave.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm all about that. I still didn't see Flash because I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not there. But this is her.
Yeah,
right?
she's good looking.
That's what she looks like. And I'll show, obviously, a picture for everybody.
Yeah.
what
Did they
she looks
fuck her
like on
up?
the screen.
They fucked her up.
This is the toy.
Oh God.
Just the forehead, it kind of looks like Tom Holland mixed with,
What the fuck?
I don't know, it is an ugly toy, and I bet they are going to have a warehouse of those things.
Okay.
How is anybody expected to masturbate to that?
Right. If they put one of those green, like, not the fatigues, like with the camo, but like the green army jacket, like T2 style, kind of, like, that looks like what the 90s thought young white men as school shooters look like.
Sure, I can see that.
The forehead, the bangs,
Yeah.
everything. That's very,
It could be in a
Heathers.
KFDM.
what's his face in Heathers?
I haven't
The
seen
bad
it.
boy.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
don't know his name, though. Big old forehead on that feller.
But not like Christopher Lambert.
No,
in
not
Lambert.
Lambert. Not like Lambert. But anyway, Sideshow, big swing and a miss for them. Normally they knock it out of the park. That's just fucking embarrassing. And like I said, they're gonna have a warehouse of those things just rotting.
That's
Yeah.
awful. They got to do a redo, man. That's
Yeah.
They don't have room in the ET landfill. in
No,
Death Valley or whatever.
So anyway, that's it for our toy update. There is tons of other cool San Diego Comic-Con toys coming out this year. Go check it out. Literally just Google San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, SDCC exclusives, and you'll see a ton of cool shit. I just wanted to point out that Mr. Freeze because I thought it was really neat. I've never seen a Mr.
Very
Freeze
neat.
that looks like that. It looks
Very
like
neat.
a combination of like a scuba Eskimo.
It gives me Big
You know,
Daddy
like,
vibes,
yeah.
Bioshock
Yeah, for
vibes
sure,
on that,
for sure.
no doubt.
But that is it for our toy update, and we are moving on to our last bit that we're talking about, our movie update for the episode. And we're going to be talking about Oppenheimer. Like we said before,
Oppie.
we went to the theaters and saw this. It came out just a couple days ago, 2 days ago. It's Christopher Nolan's new movie, and I thought it was pretty decent. But before that, we saw a couple trailers. Godzilla -1 trailer. We didn't see that in the theaters, but James pointed that out to us, and I think that looks really great. Is that a continuation off the current American Godzilla stuff, or is it a new Japanese project that is totally separate?
It is 100%. Basically its own thing. I think
Okay.
like it's not
But it's a Toho.
Toho production.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be like a Toho production, but it's not following Shin either. You know.
It's total.
Yeah, it's kind of like its own thing. I'm not
So
sure.
if you -1 Godzilla from a movie, how many Godzillas are in it?
Well, presumably.
I'm not a mathematician.
I don't know, man.
Sounds like a big zero.
It sounds to me like maybe this isn't Godzilla. Maybe we're just getting trolled, and it's like fucking. I don't know.
They just put it on the trailer, then they digitally edit him out of all
Godzilla's
the
mom or something
scenes.
like that, or his third cousin or some shit like that.
But it looks cool, and they just released. I saw an article of a SH Figure Arts figure for it, and it looks
already?
real sharp. Oh, dude, they waste no time.
they
no
really
time.
don't.
We saw the Dune 2 trailer, which I probably enjoyed more than Oppenheimer. No offense to Oppenheimer, but it gave me tingly balls watching that Dune 2 trailer. It just looks fucking
The fucking music.
It's like, yeah!
Bumps it up.
Sign me up! It looks so good. It is the climax of the two movies of the Dune story. As most of you know, the book was split up into 2 movies, and this is where all the action takes place. So I'm curious to see how the movie actually feels, because they're going to be 2 very drastic movies. I think the first one was a success, hit the nail on the head, almost
Which still
90%.
had action.
Which still had
But
action.
it's that strong build-up and backbone to tell such a powerhouse story.
But it also blue balls you a little bit.
Well,
at the end of Dune 1.
It left you wanting more. One thing I want to know, which I don't know, maybe there's some other Dune head. Maybe you could even lend me in to, let me know how it goes down. On rewatching the first new Dune,
Sure.
there's a scene where they're giving them a tour of their new place on Arrakis,
Okay, yeah.
and they just kind of gesture to and here's where all the melange spice is processed, and they just kind of point to some smokestacks. I wanted it might just be me, but I wanted at least like a 5-minute scene of like how it's made, like how they process the spice.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted to see
That's
inside
a
of the.
secret.
I wanted to see more inside of the facilities and how it's processed.
You might get your wish.
And I wish we could have had more stuff going on with the harvesters.
That's such a minimal thing.
It
I know you
is.
wanna
Yeah,
see
but
more
you
of
like
the-
to see the machinery at
I
work
want
and
to.
all that stuff.
As
I
someone
get
who
it.
works in a factory and with
Right.
machinery, I want to see how it does.
Well,
what
you'll
it
probably
does.
like
I want to know the inner workings.
You'll definitely. I have
Let
a
me in the
feeling
guts.
You'll never get
definitely
into a
get to
tour.
see how the process is going as far as making the spices produced, right?
Right.
Eventually, but like
Certainly.
there's probably a reason why they don't show it initially.
Right. It's a secret to most of the universe how the spice is produced. Not necessarily how it's harvested or what they do with it post harvesting it. But because
the
I
actual
mean
treatment of it.
yeah, because I
how
mean,
it's
really, when they bring
refined.
when they bring it to the facility, I'm sure it just goes through a how it's made fucking.
That's what I want to
like-
see. You
Right.
know?
And in this room, we see the.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see
It's
that.
in the tumbler. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
No, you'll never see that.
But the
It's-
thing is, when you mention like the pacing and stuff, like it's slow build. I remember when I was telling you about that video that I watched when the guy he did the comparisons
of
between
the book and the movie.
Yeah, and he said that like Frank Herbert even said that first book that first half is very coital.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slow build up, and
Well,
it
and
does
it's
kind of
about-
ball you a bit. You know.
Well, and it's a lot. The first half of this book is a lot to soak in because you're learning multiple languages, and they don't shy back by like explaining what things are. They'll be like, "Oh, this is it's a Fremen tool."
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. And like, or you just have to know.
right. And
We're
What
kind
that
of getting
thing
dumped
is.
on as far as like what the different.
You're getting
cultures are
immersed in a
about.
culture, and I
Yeah.
guess it's kind of the best way to do it, just by
More than
throwing
one
yourself
culture.
well, that's the
in
thing.
there.
Like, there's
Yeah.
even like a supplemental table and everything, like a lot that explains.
Oh, the
what
whole back of the
everything
book.
is.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Clockwork Orange. In the back of the Clockwork Orange, it has like the breakdown of all the slang
NASA.
terms. Yeah. So that is really exciting. I thought the new Scorsese movie looks really cool. Killers of the Flower Moon. That was the Native American one.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I think you missed that one. It's an Amazon
Yeah.
original movie. It is it looks just like every other Martin Scorsese movie ever. It has Robert De Niro in it, but it focuses on stealing land
From Indians 'cause they're
for
on
oil,
oil.
and
Yeah.
then like refusing to give it back to them or something like that. It's gonna be a Martin Scorsese movie, but it looks cool because that's another movie. I'm like, oh, this is pumping me up. Like,
It's gonna be There Will Be Blood mixed with Dances with Wolves.
mixed with Casino. Or Goodfellas.
Okay.
You know, because it's a
Okay.
Scorsese movie. I can't believe Robert De Niro is still acting. He just looks so fucking old. It just is what it is. But anyway, those are the trailers I wanted to talk about. We saw Oppenheimer. It's directed by Christopher Nolan. It's written also by Nolan and two people that have written books on Robert Oppenheimer, Kay Bird and Martin Sherwin. It stars Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., and many, many more. It feels like in every next scene, it was like, oh, I know that guy. Like, I recognize that guy from somewhere. They literally just threw in as many people as they could for this
Plus,
movie.
Christopher Nolan, he kind of has his regular entourage.
Right.
know.
And so this was a 3-hour-long trek in a hot theater, mind you. But I want to say that...
It was art.
Dude, I thought it was a great movie, and there's not really another movie like it, or at least the way a biography is approached. Not that it's like a true 100%. You know, this should not be treated as a biography. It is a dramatic depiction of history.
Right.
Right? But it was man, it was fucking epic, man. The score was super intense. Outside of the
design,
sounds.
not even the sound, or not even the music. Just the sound design was fucking
Yeah.
brilliant.
nuts. But I just thought the score in general, outside of the sounds and everything, really, really well. This is a mixed.
I didn't even notice the score because it was so blended in
With
and
the
it
scenes.
matched so beautifully.
This wasn't
So-
Hans Zimmer this time. This was
There was no.
I was gonna say it wasn't.
No, but I like Hans Zimmer, but you know
I like him as much as the next guy.
I
But,
fucking
you know,
love me some Hans Zimmer, man. Fucking the Man of Steel sound, you can't fuck with it. That It's beautiful.
I would say you can't replicate it. You certainly can. You fall asleep on an organ, and that's
You're thinking. I'm talking about Man of Steel, not what the
Batman vs Superman.
what the hell is
I tried watching
Dude.
space one? The space one.
Batman vs Superman 3
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Yes, that's.
Okay.
Everyone
definitely
said I
very-
would have liked that movie. Yeah, there's a cool,
Interstellar?
weird
No.
Tetris
You would
robot.
most certainly have.
Yeah,
to.
it was such a long haul. That was so fucking boring.
I did not like Interstellar at all.
No.
I didn't see it, so I can't.
I thought it was lame, but this is, like I said, a mixed black and white colored movie that kind of tackles a couple different ways of storytelling throughout the movie. We're getting flashbacks. We're
was very
focusing
out of
on
order.
very out of order, different characters. Like, we're starting new stories with characters in the middle of the movie. Like, it was really all over the place. And I can say, I think, and this might just, I don't want to sound shitty, but I think to the average viewer, this might be a lot.
It is
Yes,
a lot.
100%.
I absorbed probably 75% of the dialogue. Granted, I normally watch with subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a theater. You know, I'm not gonna be, hey, can you turn the subtitles? You know what I mean? But that, I absorbed 75%. I'd like to rewatch it with subtitles and see if I can gather a little bit more. But
Yeah.
I was thoroughly entertained the whole time until I got a little confused at the end with the stuff with Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
Yeah, he did some dirty shit.
He was being sketchy and trying to
Because
set up
he felt like he was snubbed by Oppenheimer, and he was.
Yeah, he
you know.
embarrassed him, and that was such a minimal thing at the beginning of the movie. Though I didn't think that it was
Exactly. Yeah,
The
because
part with it's no more useful than a sandwich.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Like, you really got embarrassed all that bad enough to do a whole fucking
Cool.
thing, set up, fake
Yeah, man.
trials and all this shit. Well, not fake trials, but rigged.
right, to kind of
trials.
destroy his name, drag him through the mud.
And when you say many more, one of the guys in the interrogation scene, the curly hair, kind of heavier
Oh,
man,
yeah.
he was in the Dark Knights and the Christopher Nolan Batman movies,
Okay.
amongst many other things. I don't know the actor's name,
I've seen him before. I know
but he
you're
was the
talking-
real hard ass in those interrogations.
Yeah, he was the one doing the most of the interrogating. Yeah. So like I said, I thought it was pretty good. I think it's going to be a lot for the average viewer. I think there's certainly something to walk away from with this movie. For people that aren't aware already, which would be a surprise because it's been all over the internet. This follows
You'd be
the
surprised
story,
that some people would be that still.
of Robert Oppenheimer, just in the creation of the atom bomb, the potential creation of the H-bomb, and all the things that went into that. So it definitely covers a really wide range of story and storytelling. But like we were saying, I think it keeps you entertained and busy enough, and everything is short enough, even though it is a 3-hour movie, that you don't get lost in thought all that much.
It really has a good way of breaking up the scenes to where things don't really get stagnant. You
Sure.
never there's lulls.
And with how they're cutting to those flashbacks and the out of order, if
Yeah.
we would have saw those scenes just in a straight,
In a linear way,
it would have
wouldn't
been it would have been understimulating. It wouldn't have kept you on your toes, and it would have been a little more of a boring execution.
right,
The editing
because
style
it
definitely
kind of
made
tricks
far more
you into
interesting.
thinking that some characters are the good guy and the bad guy,
Right.
and it's all about perspective, really, and
Like Gundam. There is no good guys and bad guys. They're all just...
Different guys with different robots.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
I have never wanted, after quitting smoking, I've never wanted a cigarette more than during this movie.
Because
everybody's
And the last time I felt like that was when I saw Shutter Island.
Oh,
And
everyone
there's like
is
50
smoking
guys
their
on
asses
screen
off.
all puffing away. I mean,
Yeah.
oh my god, rub it in.
But it's definitely a very, very heavy movie, and anybody that's going to complain about it being too complicated or something like that is probably just kind of too stupid to understand that that's just how things
James
are.
is out here fucking cutting throats.
Sorry,
Watch
but
the
that's just how it
subscribers
is.
just drop.
You don't got the patience.
Thank you.
Just give it some patience, all right? It's
Well,
a
I would-
complicated story and complicated things.
I would agree with your statement because I normally say the same thing you say when someone tells me a movie is boring. I'm like, well, what do you mean boring? Like,
Everyone has their own definition of
yeah,
that.
I mean, you may not be entertained, but what do you normally watch?
right.
Steven
Steven Seagal fucking
Yeah,
movies,
dude,
dude.
I-
I joked with Ashley when we got home. I was like, I don't know. That was a lot of yapping for just one explosion.
But this is definitely a dialogue heavy movie,
Yes.
not
Right,
for
right.
everybody. And
It's a very whodunit thing, and like there's a doomsday clock involved. It's it's heavy stuff.
yeah, it's good. I definitely had a couple favorite parts that I mean I don't want to go too much into detail. Obviously, the bomb explosion part was super cool. I liked when he's giving a speech at the end and everyone's stomping on the bleachers.
I missed that
and,
part.
like,
I
you did?
It cut through that throughout the movie, or at least
Yeah,
the
yeah,
audio.
the
You
stomping
just hear
and all that.
But the climax of it, dude, because he goes and they're stomping and he's slowly walking out there. That's all you can hear is the stomping.
Yeah.
He gets up at the podium. It all immediately goes quiet and you hear a scream, like a child screaming.
Yeah, and then you see one woman with looks like her skin's being melted away
Well,
from the radiation,
dude.
and the crowd goes empty.
It's fucking
it's
crazy.
just one- Oh, I
missed
You
that. That
missed
sounds
it.
like
It
an
was
awesome
such a good
fucking
part.
It was
scene,
very
man.
powerful cinematography.
I remember seeing you walk up the steps right after it ended. I was like, "Oh man, James missed
I
that
missed
part."
Nick and Ashley missed the part too where he talks to Einstein.
Oh, at
The
the
second
end,
time.
Yeah,
the
the
second
reveal.
time.
Yeah.
Well,
What did he say?
He.
Ooh, I don't know if we should say.
Yeah, because it's such a.
We'll say it after the episode because I don't want to. That's a major
Okay.
reveal for the
All
movie.
Right. It's too big of a.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the movie just came out 2 days ago. I mean, granted, it'll probably take me a week to edit this video.
Hey man,
but-
I was refilling your Coke,
Oh man.
and I was in
Grateful
line.
for
I
that.
didn't realize they had a Coca-Cola
Oh, you
freestyle
could
machine.
you just go to the thing.
Go up and raw dog.
Yeah, you could
Dude,
just go.
I feel so old at the movies these days. Like, I walk up with my QR code, they're like, "Go to there." They're like, "There's stop walking up to the ticket booth. Just take your phone over there." I'm like, "Okay." But
Is this the right line?
I'm just telling you, like, they have hazelnut churros now. We are
What?
only
Where?
at the theater.
At the
I
theater?
I
Yeah.
saw him on the thing.
What, you
yeah,
didn't want a
it was
hot
nice.
hazelnut churro? in
No,
that
they didn't
theater?
have AC. I'm so shocked they had hazelnut churros.
I think we're so close to movie theater spaghetti. Dude, you
You're
take,
still on about the
you
fucking
take the
spaghetti.
bucket of popcorn. It's multi-purpose. You fill it with spaghetti and meatballs. You give people a
Larry?
long fork, and you're
This is what the hell is that chain that Hulk Hogan?
I don't want to use. I won't make
that's
spaghetti.
Pastamania.
Pasta Mania. This has the same. This like the same course as Pasta
Can you
Mania.
imagine a
man.
movie theater floor of just meatballs and popcorn?
And I can just imagine it being not like regular spaghetti, but that shitty old school movie spaghetti where it's like
yeah.
just orange noodles
Yeah,
that he just
dude. But what would you guys give it out of atomic bombs? I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 because I think
Okay,
nothing
out of
is
5.
perfect. Atomic bombs. How about you?
I give it probably 5.
It's not a perfect movie and it's not my favorite movie, but it's hard to argue the quality of the movie, I think.
If I saw that one scene, it would probably be the same.
You missed that
Yeah.
really bad. That's a big scene.
But I'm gonna say 4.25.
Fuck you. You know we don't do that here, but I'll let you do it. Nick, what is your... How many atomic bombs you got for Oppie?
How many nukes?
Missing
Okay.
the Einstein reveal.
Personal bias factored in because of environmental conditions.
Sure.
Like
It was
was
rough.
boiling hot, and I'm shocked Ashley and I made it through that much of it with her having a concussion, seeing an IMAX show with the
Yeah.
overwhelming sound, and I give it a 3.5. It was pure art. It was well executed, well done, but again, like they're just. I needed a little more going on to like justify the conditions of the theater we were in.
Sure.
Because I was miserable. Like I work in a factory without AC or any environmental control, and the floor is just as sticky when we had our glue spill this Friday and mopping that shit up than it was at the theaters. So that just really put a storm cloud over the whole show for me.
No, I got it.
Was the comfortability level. I had a great date night at Bahama Breeze sipping down mojitos right before that. So I was in a good headspace. But yeah, 3.5. It's one of those great movies. And there's been a few of them I've only watched once. And it's going to be a long time before I watch it again. Similar to... the guy who did the original Solaris, Andrei Tarkovsky, the Russian filmmaker who did not Stranger. the one where they go into the Chernobyl zone, essentially.
Oh,
It's like a 3-hour movie where nothing happens.
it's not Chernobyl Diaries, is it?
No.
But yeah,
Stalker.
Okay.
Stalker. Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker. It is a 3-hour movie where nothing happens, and it's based on what you come back from it is you as a viewer enduring the experience.
Got him. Damn, no, he didn't. I think
Close. I know. Ex-Karate Kid. I ain't no
But-
Cobra Kai.
Anyway, that's all we got for you guys for this month's episode. I hope you enjoyed the new format. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to talk about any of the things we talked today or much, much more, something that we should watch, we'll watch it. We'll do it. What have we got to lose, right?
Well, Larry can always cut this part out, but look forward to our next episode on Barbie, starring Margot Robbie and good old Rye Gaz.
I have no problem talking about Barbie.
And just
What
because
about
I listened to
CNN? Yeah,
Crotch
let me see
Duster at one point in time does not make me an awful person.
No, it does. It does. Goodbye, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Signing off, Larry Downs.
Nick Airlock Shock Haskin and...
James Seeloff.
We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.